Hi there. Are you ready for tonight's story? Well, tonight we're going to go back and revisit some old friends. We read a story once called Walk on the Wild Side that had a moose and a beaver and a bear in it. And we're going to visit them again. This time it's called Up the Creek, and it's by Nicholas Oldland. Are you ready? There was once a bear, a moose, and a beaver who were best of friends, though they often disagreed. One sunny day, the bear, the moose, and the beaver decided to go canoeing. The moose wanted to steer, but so did the bear and the beaver. They all sat in the stern, that's the back. With so much weight in the back of the canoe, it tipped, and they ended up in the water. So they played eeny, meeny, miny, moe, catch a tiger by the toe, if he hollers, let him go, eeny, meeny, miny, moe, and it was decided that the moose would steer. They all settled back in the canoe and began to paddle. The bear insisted on paddling port side, which is on the left, but the beaver and the moose also preferred the left. With everyone paddling on the same side, they traveled in circles. Soon their arms grew tired, so they began to switch sides. That's when they finally started to travel in a straight line. But just as they began to make progress, they came to stop at a beaver dam. They all had different ideas as to get across. The beaver wanted to push the canoe, but that didn't work. The moose thought they should pull the canoe. That didn't work either. Fortunately, the bear figured it out. The only way across was to portage, which means to carry it. Back in the water, the bear, the moose, and the beaver settled into a rhythm and started to really enjoy paddling along the river. But it wasn't long before they began to argue. Stop splashing, keep paddling, I'm hungry. They argued so loudly that they didn't notice the current growing stronger or the quiet rumbling in the distance. Until it was too late, the river had turned into a wild white water rapids. Ah! Thrown sideways, underwater, through the air, and everywhere, the bear, the moose, and the beaver held on for their lives. Exhausted, bruised, and wet, the three friends landed on a rock in the middle of the rapids. The moose wanted to burn the canoe to make a signal fire. The bear wanted to throw the beaver to the shore to get help. The beaver figured swimming to shore would be safer. They argued over whose plan was best well into the night. The next morning it dawned on the bear, the moose, and the beaver that they would have to work together to make it home safely. So they climbed back in their battered canoe, took a deep breath, and ran the rapids. They twisted, leaped, crashed, and blasted through the air. The rapids were fierce, but with the bear's powerful strokes, the moose's steady hoof, and the beaver's clever commands, they set a true, clear course. At last, the bear, the moose, and the beaver made it to shore. After a much-needed nap, the bear, the moose, and the beaver worked together to repair their canoe and the paddles, catch some fish, and cook lunch. Before they tucked into their meal, they all gave thanks for the wildest adventure they had ever had. Rested and relaxed, the bear, the moose, and the beaver were ready to set out for home, and after taking a long look at the raging rapids, they decided to walk. And who could disagree with that? Well, I wasn't sure that the three friends were ever going to survive that river. That was pretty dangerous. One of the things that they had to figure out is that not all three of them could get their own way all the time. They had to take turns doing things their own way. That's called sharing leadership. We need one leader, one at a time, to decide what we're going to do, or we're never going to get anything done. We can't get our own way all the time. Sometimes, even if we think our idea is better, we have to let someone else do things their way and cooperate with them and support them in it. And that's how we get things done. You know, Jesus formed us into a church with himself, Jesus, as the head of the church. He's really our leader. And we need to follow people who follow Jesus so that we can make the world a better place. We all have different gifts. We all have different talents. We're all good at some things and not so good at other things. And we're not right all the time. And we can't always get our own way. It's so much better when we can cooperate and work together like the three friends did to make things happen. Do you know why Jesus wants us to cooperate and work together to make the world better? Sure you do. Because He loves us this much. So God bless you. God bless you that you remember always that you are the beloved child He created you to be. Good night.